Hello student, welcome to Math Academy. This is the another video in the long questions. This is the long questions of function. So first of all, the given function will be fx equal to 4x plus 1 and it goes to real number to real number. R to R means real number to real number be defined by this given functions. Is f is invertibles? When a function set to be invertibles means inverse invertible. Invertible means खाली मन रख इनभर्टेबल मान हूँ 1 1 and on 1 1 means injective तो injective हुआ है and on 2 means surjective. So it means if it is bijective then it is said to be invertible functions. So our target is find a function is 1 1 and on 2. So first when a function is set to 1 1, so 1 1 means if I choose two numbers, suppose this is the x1 and this is the x2 and it goes to real number domain rules, then बाहर करिए f of x1 equal to f of x2, that implies x1 equal to x2, then it becomes 1 1. When it is a function set to 1 2 means surjective. It means if fx equal to y, if fx equal to y, then if I prove that x equal to fy, then it becomes 1 2. So these tips I will be apply the given condition, so I can easily verify. So solution. First, the given function becomes fx equal to 4x plus 1 and it is goes to it is the important real number to real number. This is the domain, is the range or coordinates. This is the coordinates domain and this is the coordinates. So I will first prove this is the 1 1 and 1 2 because this is I will find this is the invertible function. So invertibles means 1 1 and 1 2. So I will apply 1 1 1 1. How it is 1 1? Suppose let x1 and x2 is belongs to R. R means domains. That's simple that f of x1 equal to f of x2. What is the value of f of x1? We know that f of x is equal to 4x plus 1. If fx is equal to 4x plus 1, then f of x1 becomes 4x1 plus 1 and f of x2 becomes 4x2 plus 1. It means this is the 1 and 1 will be cancels out and 4 and 4 will cancel out, then it becomes x1 and x2. It means this is the 1 1 function. So every element of x1 is in x2. It means if you consider 1, then it is become 1, 2 it is become 2. So you will be find real number and it becomes a real number. जदि मो रियल नंबर नेमी तार रियल नंबर पाबि निश्चित भाव. तो दिस इज द एलिमेंट ऑफ 1 1. सब एलिमेंट रे गुटे ना गुटे कोन मैपिंग हो छै, तो इट इज ए 1 1 फंक्शंस. सो नेक्स्ट आई विल फाइंड 1 2. व्हाट इज द डेफिनेशन ऑफ 1 2? 1 2 मींस fx equal to y. Suppose and I will where target is find x equal to fy. So what is my fx? fx equal to 4x plus 1 equal to y implies that 4x equal to y minus 1 implies that x becomes y minus 1 by 4. This is the function. Every element of x is contained in y means x ର image ଆମେ କ'ଣ ପାଇଲେ ଏଠି y ରେ ଆମେ y ଟାକୁ କ'ଣ ନେଇଥିଲେ ତ ଏଠି ଆମେ କ'ଣ ନେଇଥିଲେ x equal to fy ମାନେ ଏଟା ତମର କ'ଣ y ଟା ସପୋଜ ଲେଖିଥିଲେ ଆମେ କ'ଣ ଏଠି fx equal to y. Fx equal to y means this is the function about fx is equal to y. fx and y टा x ର function ଏଠି x ଟା କାହାର function ହେଇଗଲା y ର functions. It means suppose I will consider this is the g of y. Suppose so it will be clear that जेकोसी आम रियल नंबर नवा से रियल नंबर ही पाइबा. सपोज मु y जगह 1 नौछि 1 माइनस 1 4 तो 0/4 इट बिकम्स 0. तो जदि मु 1 नौछि रियल नंबर डोमेन रे इट जदि 1 नौछि पाइन कोन 0 पाइन. सो इट इज ए रियल नंबर एंड इट इज बिकम्स ए रियल नंबर. रियल नंबर ने रियल नंबर पाउछि. जदि 2 नवा 1/4 पाइबा एंड 1/4 बिकम्स रियल नंबर्स. 3 ने 3 minus 1 3 ने कते पाइम if you put 3 and 3 minus 1 4/3. So it also becomes if you put domain then it will get codomain will be 4/3. So then x equal to suppose this is the function of another function. I will write g of y and x is equal to x becomes f. I will find f inverse. F inverse means this is the y equal to fx and x equal to fy means it is inverse. Then f inverse x becomes g of y. F inverse of x equal to g of y. What is the x the inverse because y equal to fx and x equal to g of y and x is the inverse of these functions. X is the inverse. F inverse x equal to g of y. Then g of y जहाँ f inverse इटा समान कारण g of y टा कहाँ रे कारण हम g of x नहीं थिले fx नहीं थिले तो fx टा कोटर कन्वर्ट होइछि g of y रे. So g of y is equal to the f inverse of x. So how to will find f inverse of x? f inverse of x ର value जहाँ g of y ର value से f inverse x बाहर करिया पई तो what is the question will be f inverse of 1. f inverse of 1 केते कारण f inverse of 1 ର value जहाँ g of y ର value से f inverse x ର value जहाँ g of y ର value से तो केते value लिखि परिबे लिखि दउछि ठीक केते बाहर करिया पड़े g of f inverse x को लिखि परिम केते y minus 1/4. This is the f inverse of x कारण f inverse x जहाँ g of y से तो मु f inverse x यदि पाई गली तने x जार केते पकि बनि रे f inverse x is equal to y minus 1/4. then f inverse of x जार केते पकि 1 पकबिनी 1 पक देले केते 1 minus 1/4 तो 0. Yes, it is invertible because first it is invertible and its function f inverse of 1 f inverse of 1 becomes 0. f inverse of 1 कोड पाइली कारण हम देखि परछ f inverse x टा g of y समान कारण x equal to g of y means this is the function of gy and it is the inverse of these functions. This is the inverse of this function. This function becomes f inverse of x equal to g of y कारण हमें y टा f of x नहीं थिले x टा g of y गेला. So this is the. So thank you. Like, comment, subscribe. Thank you.